Hey, Tony Gaskins here. Hey, don't got long on the road. Gotta leave the hotel to go catch my flight, but I wanted to pop in. Sunday sermon. I was reading Proverbs 31, and we hear a lot about this all the time, this Proverbs 31 woman. And what I see here as you read the chapter, it's a mom, talking to her son. It's advice from a mother to a son who is a king. And what she's describing is this woman who essentially, like what I talk about, has the three B's: brains, brand, and body, meaning she takes care of herself around the board. So as you read Proverbs 31, you'll see this woman who she knows, she has knowledge, she knows who she is, she knows that she needs to work, she also needs to be there for her family, she needs to find a way to provide and not just depend. And so she's bringing her skills to the table. And in the chapter, it describes this woman who isn't like a real woman. I mean, certain historians and certain studies say that this was a type of woman that was known to be in Israel or Persia. But when you think about this, here's a woman who her man is moving and shaking. He's a leader. He's a man, a man's man. And then instead of just her sitting at home and kicking her feet up and just seeking and thriving to be taken care of, she said, listen, although I don't have to work, I'm going to find something to put my hands to. And so it talks about how she was using her hands, using her skills, and how she became the plug in the city. She would go to the merchants and sell the products that she had created, and that how she was looking out for her family so that when it was cold, they had jackets that she had already made. They had blankets she had already made, and how she was managing life, love, and business. And I say that to say this is what the real men of today, the real men of today are looking for: a woman who can understand that this man, that he is learning or has learned how to balance the lion and the lamb, and that he wants to cater and provide. He wants to be there and be a real man and take care of you and give you what you want and what you need. But he doesn't want a woman who has a sense of entitlement. And so it's a lot of women today, for whatever reason, y'all women, y'all may know better than me, but are coming in with a sense of entitlement. Like, oh, I deserve to be catered to, and oh, I don't want to work, and oh, I don't want to do anything, and I just want to be at the salon, and I just want to be doing this and doing that, and you just cater to me and just take care of me. And I see a lot of women like this today. I work out at an expensive gym, and so it's all these Bentleys and all of this out there, and I see a lot of different type of ladies who, you hear them bragging about they ain't got no job. They just looking for the next coffee date with their girlfriend. Ain't trying to help their husband in the business. My wife, she run everything in our business, and at the same time, she run everything at home in the sense of she really the backbone for our sons. And that's what is the difference today, is you have most women today just trying to focus on one thing. But when you read this Proverbs 31 woman, and a lot of women always talking about this, and even in Proverbs 31, it said her arms were strong. It was kind of describing like you could see her strength. It basically what it was kind of saying is she got the Michelle Obama arms that I be hearing people talk about, which I ain't never seen Michelle Obama arms, but I'm guessing they look nice or something. And it's talking about her arms where she working, and it talks about her going and acquiring land. She sees a vineyard and she acquires it, and then she builds her own. I mean, she births her own vineyard, and she tending to her vineyard, and she using her hands to sow and all of these things, and yet there for her family. And this is what I'm saying, is that men are much more capable than what we settle for. women are much more capable than what we settle for. And I had talks, coming up with my wife in the early parts of our marriage, and she wasn't raised to be a wife. She was raised, the world is yours, this about you. And that's how a lot of parents raise their children. Is a lot of parents, we spoil our children, and we don't teach them to value other people, and we don't teach them to value the fact that one day you're going to have a spouse. And I noticed that with a lot of women that I have met. So I teach my sons so that they're not selfish. I teach my sons, hey, pay attention to how I cater to your mother. Pay attention to how I'm always thinking about something I could do for her, somewhere I can take her, time that I could spend with her. I talk to my oldest about that. And that's what's happening. So my wife, she wasn't raised just like my mother and so many other women, wasn't raised to be a wife. And to be a wife, just like to be a husband, when you come together in marriage, y'all got to balance. There's no gender roles. So I can change a diaper, I can cook a meal, I can wash the dishes. There's no, I can be the soccer dad instead of, you always hear the soccer mom. I'm the soccer dad. I'm doing all the practices. And even when my wife wasn't at home cooking, I was still doing the practices. And I could have been home, working or on a coaching call, but I'm literally at the practice, and I'm in the car doing a coaching call from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. while my son practicing 6 to 7:30. And some of those times, my wife will be at the house doing whatever. I don't know what she was doing. Now she at the house, and now she's cooking more because she's trying to balance and slow life down and make sure things are in order. And I love and appreciate that. So, hey, I'll be soccer dad. You don't have to be soccer mom that we always hear about. Let me be soccer dad. And then you at the house cooking. See, a man and a woman in a healthy relationship, there's no gender roles. You got to have balance. And with this balance, you supporting one another. What this means is that the two of you are utility players. If you ever, like in football, we have what you call a utility player. Some of y'all didn't know I played football in college. We have a utility player. This utility player he could play running back, he could play wide receiver, slot receiver. He could throw the ball if he need to, on the trick play. He could play cornerback. He could return kicks. He's a utility player. You could play him almost anywhere. And so in a marriage, that's how you got to be. You got to be able to provide when you need to provide. You got to be able to know how to make some money if you need to know how to make some money. And then you got to be able to serve and to work and to plan and to organize. And you can't, and I remember early on, it was so new, for my wife and I, and she would be talking about everything that is expected, of a wife. And she was like, man, working or then cooking or cleaning and running here, running there, doctor's appointment, this and that. And we'll sit down and I say, well, hey, on my side, this what I'm doing. This what I got to do. This. And even now, at our life now, I talk to my wife sometimes. I'm like, baby, I don't think y'all really understand. Like, I don't know if y'all really understand that, with bills being this high and I got to provide, I got to make something happen. That ain't easy now. That ain't easy when your life done built to a place to where your monthly expenses is more than what some people make in a year. I'm like, that ain't easy when you trying to give your children experiences. And to play travel soccer, it costs about $15,000 to $20,000 a year. And then if you do one of those trips out of the country, that's like another $10,000 to $15,000. Literally, my son, 12 years old, his travel soccer easily costs $30,000 a year because all the hotels, stays, and all of this. And just to play on the team is $4,000 or $5,000. So I say that to say, y'all gotta forgive me, my light went out. But I say that to say, imagine individuals who they just make $30,000 a year. Then they child can't have the opportunity of travel soccer to be in the places where they need to be to one day go pro as a soccer player. So to provide that, that's not easy. And so me and my wife, we have to sit down and talk. And I say, listen, I understand everything that you have to manage as a woman, in your skill set, your gifting. It's not easy. But one thing I do know is that God created us and we can do all things through Christ who strengthens us. So Proverbs 31 is really an example of that, to say, don't sell yourself short. Don't just be one dimensional. Don't say that, and here was a woman telling her son, this is the type of woman you need. And she didn't just tell him that. In the first 9 or 10 verses, she was talking to him about speaking up for those who don't have a voice and being just. She was talking to him about, you be a good man. You be a good man and a man of honor. Then she went into, now the woman that you need, and she described a woman of valor. A woman of valor. And that's what she was saying. Look, I'm raising you. I want you to be this type of man. But you need to find this type of woman that is your equal, that matches you, not somebody who one-dimensional and they just focusing on their body and the tricks in the bedroom, or somebody they just focusing on the boardroom and being a celebrity in the corporate world, but not focusing on home. You need to have a woman who knows how to manage the home, but also can go out and make a living if need be. And so that way you have your equal. And then what a man comes and does when he sees that a woman is willing and that she's capable and she's able, it makes him respect her so much more. So he says, you know what? I want to give you the world. I want to give you the world. I want to make life easier on you. And I experienced this myself. So I'm also talking from experience. When I see my wife willing and not having a sense of entitlement to just be gimme, gimme, gimme. My grandma used to say, give me what got you here. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Give me is what got you here. Basically meaning you got here being a beggar. Give me what got you here. But when you come and you say, look, this what I could bring to the table, and this what I expect to be brought to the table, then that's when things change and you understand that. So listen to me on this, feel me on this, and read it, Proverbs 31 for yourself. Go through it, see how it is. I'm sorry. Room service, being nosy, they be trying to clean your room. Read through it, go through there, and see for yourself, so you can kind of grab a lesson from it and see where you need to work on yourself. And understand, it doesn't mean that you gotta be go gadget. What it means is you gotta be ready and willing. And this chapter also can apply to men, even though we talk about the Proverbs 31 woman. It can apply to men as well, so that you can do it all. And I tell you what happened. I came willingly and I said, baby, hey, I could cook some days, let me cook. Now, one time I cooked some baked chicken. I almost killed everybody. And chicken, I probably had all kind of salmonella in it. And I said, baby, I can help you with the laundry, Hey, I can help you with this. And then what she would say, she said, no, I got it. No, I don't want you washing dishes because I'm going to have to wash them after you. And so she looked and she saw my strengths versus her strengths. And she said, okay, no, let me do this, okay? And then this your strength out here. You got the God-given ability to earn an unlimited potential out here in this world. You focus there. And then I need you to be an active father and husband. So we doing a date every week. And I need you at all of our sons' events and games and all of this. And then let me focus on this right here. So that's what happened. You just got to be willing and not go in feeling entitled. Because I see even a lot of men just want to say, oh, I'm just going to work. I'm just going to work. No, you got to be able to serve in your household, serve your wife, serve your children as well. Hey, wanted to go long on this here, but I got to get going. Got to catch this here plane. Got to be out this room in 15 minutes. God bless y'all. We'll talk soon.